Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Adda, the best show for the tips, tricks, and predictions to make your best
Yes,
11-a-side team in the fantasy world. Nikhil,
yes,
welcome to the show once again. Fantastic as always. How do you feel?
yes. I think the last game was very good one for us in terms of the game that the match between Afghanistan and Scotland. Almost every pick was as good as it could have been. So hopefully, may that continue for us.
Absolutely. Let's hope that it continues. We have a double header today, two big
Yes.
games. Four of the best teams that you would want to watch out. And the
Yeah.
first game being South Africa taking on the West Indies. Now, the West Indies are the team that has won the World Cup. They are the defending champions. They had a horrible first game. Nikhil, what do you have to say about, just about the fantasy picks? If you had to look at this side and the bad performance that they had, do you still believe that they have what it takes to turn this around and come back stronger?
Yes, yes, 100%. They are defending champions for a reason. And when you
Yeah.
play game, it's high reward game. Sometimes the high risk will not leave you with any reward. So it's okay. It happens
Right.
with all the teams. We've seen another favorite team have a very bad game, first one. So it's okay. I think most of the favorites have lost in terms of in that sense. So it's okay. I think West Indies have the talent. The thing is, they have too many match winners. So
Yeah,
in such a format, you only need one or two to click every day in every match. So given that Phil Simmons has been with West Indies for a long time, and he's also said that they'll not stop playing attacking cricket. So I think that is good for the team. Yes, short selection and game awareness. I think it will all be discussed any which ways. So I'm backing West Indies to come good.
absolutely. And West Indies is someone who does not think a lot about the history, the past, the
Yeah.
present, the future. They're more into instinctive cricket, and I think that is the best
Yes.
part about that culture that they have. And now speaking of South Africa for a minute, Nikhil, they've also got a great side. They've got a formidable bowling
Yeah.
lineup in Maharaj, Nokia, Rabada, and also Shamsi, one of the best bowlers in T20 cricket. So do you think they too need to get this turnaround switch, and this game will be very crucial, and that determines where they'll go in the World Cup?
Yes, yes, absolutely right. The fact that both teams have lost their first games makes this game a lot more important for both of them because
Yeah.
two losses makes you very hard to come back, and the group that they are in, it's not going to be a walkover for any one of them. We just saw how Afghanistan smashed Scotland yesterday,
Scotland,
so
my
there
God.
will be there will be off days for many teams. So maybe one of the idea would be when you're winning, try and win big because net run rate will definitely come into the picture. So I think today we have a cracker of game on the hands in both the games that are
Absolutely.
lined up for today.
Absolutely, Nikhil. Cracker of a game. The first one now, you must have
Yeah.
slept very peacefully after the brilliant predictions you
Yes.
made yesterday night. So, not
Yes.
wasting any time, moving on to the first segment that is pick your best
Yep.
11. So, Nikhil, can you
Yeah.
tell me who your best 11 would be and who would they be and why?
So yes, hopefully we continue that good form that we have been. So for the
Yes.
South Africa West Indies game, we begin with Quinton de Kock as the guy in the keeping section, because he's the guy who's been in form. He's averaging over 50, against West Indies, and he
Oh,
had a good series against them in the recently concluded time. So that way, it just makes him a very obvious pick, and because he's also going to keep. Quinton takes a few stunners every other game. So those
yes.
points are also critical for your for our fantasy sites. So yes, that's the Quinton de Kock as our wicket keeper. In the batting section, I've gone with two straightforward informed guys for South Africa. That is Rasib van der Dussen and Aiden Markram. Now today, West Indies
Nice.
have a lot of left-handed batsmen in their top five. So I expect Markram to get a bowl. It also means I'm keen to see if Keshav Maharaj plays because
Oh,
with the amount of left-handers in the side, maybe it will be a matchup kind of a thing where they'll use him very sparingly. So Makram, along with now he's been there for a long time. He was there for the IPL as well with Punjab, so he knows the conditions. They're playing in Dubai, big ground. I think spinners will come into the game, especially if they bowl first or in whichever ways. To be very honest, if there
for
is
yeah.
something for the spinners, he'll come into the game. Again, Rasif Vanderdassen, he's a class guy. I think he's as close to AB as a replacement if South Africa would have wanted. Of course, you can't literally compare the two, but the skill set wise, the performance he did against Pakistan in the warm up game,
In the
it
practice game,
just
yeah.
bolsters. Yeah, so it just boosts their confidence. And for West Indies, I've gone with Evan Lewis and Shimron Hetmyer. Again, two guys who've
Okay.
been in the UAE for a long time. They
Yeah,
know
they
the
have.
conditions. Lewis. We saw what he can do in the CPL, and he continued that in the IPL. He may not have got the big scores, but again, he gets starts. So for fantasy,
Yes.
I would rather take a guy who's giving me starts for sure. And Shimron Hetmyer again is a class batsman. Now he's batting at 4, so he has a lot more opportunity to make an impact. So these are my four guys in the batting section.
Good pick.
Coming to the all-rounders, yes, thank you so much. Coming in the all-rounder section, I have two guys. Both of them are big names in Andre Russell and Dwayne Bravo.
Oh my
Dwayne Bravo,
God. Oh
especially.
my God.
Dwayne Bravo,
Wow.
especially. If I can get a stat for you, Dwayne Bravo has 15 wickets in 15 matches. So
Okay.
that's it's not a bad record for somebody who's been told that he's done, he's dusted. We saw in the IPL how he's found a way to be relevant again. So especially if West Indies bowl first, Bravo is going to bowl at the death, so he could get away with a 3-4 wicket haul. Uh, Russell, I think Russell might be tested because he's not been playing that regularly. He missed the games for Kolkata as well. So how he shapes up will be very critical for West Indies going into the tournament because
Right.
I don't see him bowling a lot of overs, but again, his contribution with the bat alone could set the tone for West Indies if he comes off in the death overs. So those are
Correct.
my two picks in the all rounder section. Now coming to the all important, my favorite section, that is the bowling section. For West Indies, I've gone with two guys. One is Ravi Rampal, who was in prime form in CPL. We saw him take wickets right through the game. Even in the England game, he managed to pick a wicket, which just tells you
Yeah.
how good in rhythm he is as a bowler. And the
Yeah.
other bowler is Akhil Hussain. We saw him bowl tight lines in the power play, and no disrespect to anyone in South Africa, but I think Akhil Hussain could trouble them a bit more with his tight line and length, especially if he bowls first. So those are my two guys from West Indies, South Africa. Okay, the two express pacers in Kagiso Rabada and
Has to
Anish
be.
Nokia. I mean,
Has to
it's a
be.
no-brainer. Yes, I would want to. I'm very tempted to take Shamshi, the number one ranked T20 bowler. He troubled West Indies in the series gone by, and they also would have some scars of Adil Rashid from the last game. So again,
Yeah.
if South Africa bowl first, I'll be tempted to get in maybe Shamshi for Bravo, because Bravo is then going to bowl second. Though he has good records while bowling second, Bravo. But maybe again, depend on the conditions and toss. I'll suggest everyone to
Right. Right.
have a look at this team and then obviously make your own changes.
Nikhil, I'm a bit surprised there. I was just looking here at the pitch here, and you can see Andrik Nokia is the vice captain. Now, two things
Yes,
come to my mind. Number one,
yes,
that you've got a Rabada, you've got Russell, you've got Bravo, and you're
yeah,
picking up a Nokia as a captain. And secondly, a bowler who is not played so much international cricket. He's just burst onto the scene in the last year or so. So, do you
yeah.
think it's a good buy to keep him as a vice captain?
Again, the common options for here will be, say, someone like a Rabada or a Lewis or a Makram for many, or even a Russell.
Yeah,
But again,
yeah.
the reason for going with Anders Nokia is data. As I said before, I'm someone who loves to crunch numbers, and if I can get something that favors my instinct.
Hello, Nikhil. Are you there?
Yes, yes, we are
Yes, I
here.
think we had some internet connection issues here. So let's just keep continuing. You
Yeah,
were talking about
yep,
Nokia, why you've chosen him as the vice captain. Because,
yeah,
I just want to know, and you can shed some light on the people who are just watching our game and who are watching the show and would be watching the game later on, that why have we
yeah.
chosen Nokia as a vice captain?
Again, as I said in one of the previous episodes, that I back data. So I think Nokia has been there in the UAE for a long time now for his IPL side. He may have taken only 4 wickets in 4 matches against West Indies, but he has very good numbers in second innings. And at this venue, overall at the venue, he's taken 17 wickets in 12 games. He's one of the highest wicket
Wow.
takers at the ground. So I think
Okay.
data tells me that especially if they bowl second, even if they bowl first, I think Nokia, because he'll also bowl at the death, he'll bowl in the power play,
Yes, he will.
and
He will.
so if he can, I mean, form is with him, so that it is one of a risky pick if you want to say. But again, as I keep saying, I love bowlers. I favor them because I feel they are a lot more reliable in terms of return. So yes, that is my risk for today.
You are Nikhil basically the Harshad Mehta of fantasy world. Ishq hai to risk hai, something like that, because you are someone who takes the risk, but then you have that calculation in mind. So I'm really
Yes,
looking forward for this particular pick that you've done. Now,
yes,
moving on to the second segment very quickly,
yeah,
not wasting
yeah,
further time. You have to
yeah,
eliminate six players. We'll have to pick top five for the Sports Adda fantasy. This is only for
yes.
people who have the Sports Adda app or are doing it on
Mm.
the Sports Adda website. You can pick
Yeah.
two batters, two bowlers, and one all rounder. Now it's a tough pick, Nikhil. You always say that
Yes.
I'm sorry, but now please give us the best five possible in this particular fixture.
Yes, hopefully no scams from my side, despite those despite those names. So yes, Sports Ada Fantasy. I'll just say the mandatory sorry to the guys who are getting eliminated. But my five picks for Sports Ada Fantasy are Evan Lewis and Quinton de Kock as the two batsmen. Again,
Yes.
form guys. They're likely to bat at the top. They could get you good starts. Uh, Bowlers again, Kagiso Rabada and Anish Nokia. I just feel South Africa are a bit more favorite in going to this
Yeah.
game because of their form and how West Indies batted. There will be some scars. Yes, they can come back and score 200. So you can make your own changes. But I just feel maybe South Africa are better placed if the because it's an afternoon game, so conditions won't be that easy as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
which is why I've gone with the two bowlers, the two batsmen, and the all-rounder is of course it's Andre Russell because he can contribute with both bat and ball.
Dr. Dre.
He
Yes.
yeah, he may not bowl as much, but again, if he comes off, it will be fireworks.
Absolutely. The five-a-side team
Yeah,
looks very good. The captain would be
yeah.
Quinton de Kock, according to you.
Yes, I would tempted to go with Nokia again, but again, I think that will be too much of a risk for a fireside
Yes.
contest. But again, yes, you have a lot of good options in this game, as I said. Especially if the toss and pitch report are in favor of South Africa, I'll go with the South Africa side as a favorite. So yes, Quinton de Kock is my favorite for now. But if West Indies bowl first and you feel that West Indies will come good, you have a lot of good options in Lewis, Bravo, Russell, even something like an Obed McCoy. Obed McCoy
Yes. Yes.
has
Yes.
he's troubled South Africa in the recent series. From if you see number wise, he's got 8 wickets in 4 matches while bowling first. So he could
Oh.
be a differential pick as well for guys if you're looking out for a completely out of the box player.
Yes, but I don't think that people would be wanting to take that big a risk in so
Yeah,
early on in the tournament. They have to see
yeah,
more of McCoy to come to the
mm,
conclusion that, or come to grounds with, yes, he's the match winner for them.
yeah,
Now, Nikhil, to the final segment of the show, that is picking the player of the match. 100 coins.
yeah,
Choose your player
yes.
wisely, and please tell us who is your pick or who are your picks for today's game.
Yes, thankfully we got one right yesterday in Mujibur Rahman. Uh, Today
Yes, you
again
did.
I've gone with four guys. As I usually do, two batsmen, two bowlers. The first one is obviously Quinton de Kock. So 30 coins on Quinton de Kock to come good with the bat and some wicket keeping coins points for to be
Points.
handy.
Yeah.
The corresponding guy for West Indies in Evan Lewis. So 30 for him again because he's in form. You need a good start to put pressure on the opposition, which is line up like South Africa. You want a good start. So I'm hoping even Lewis can do that today. And
Right.
again, the last two are the pace battery that I've talked about a lot now. Hopefully, I've not jinxed them. So that is Kagiso Rabada and Nokia, and 20 coins for both of them to put up man of the match performance today.
Absolutely. You've given your prediction with the whole team that you made that it's going to be a South Africa win. I am
Yeah.
sure that that's what you're backing at the moment, given the stats and
Yes.
given your team that you've made.
Yeah.
So, do you really
Yeah.
think that South Africa, with the team that they have, they are a revamped South Africa? They're not the South Africa
Yeah.
that have a particular playing 11. They are ones who are just in transition when it comes to T20
Correct.
cricket. You think they can pull
Yeah.
off this miracle and make us believe that South Africa can win a major trophy in ICC?
Again, major trophy might be a bridge too far for them just as of now. I would think they would also be going it one game at a time. The only reason to
Right.
back South Africa is West Indies batting form and South Africa's bowling form. We saw how hard South Africa made it for Australia to get across the line. So I
Right.
expect the same from them today. Yes, I said West Indies are a dangerous side. They're probably my second favorite side after India. So I won't be surprised if West Indies pull off a heist like Afghanistan did yesterday. But form, I think, favors South Africa. So let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. To all our viewers who've just tuned in, you too can choose your man of the match and write in the comment section and challenge our expert here. I'm saying it for the third time in a row. He's never been wrong that much. But yeah, and
Yeah,
we are also on social media. Please follow our social media handles given down below: Facebook,
yeah,
Instagram, and Twitter to get live updates
yeah.
from the Sports Adda team. Now, moving on
Yes,
to the next game. This is a cracker of a
yes,
game, a much
yeah,
high voltage drama action happening.
yes.
The Pakistanis taking on the New Zealand side. New Zealand now they're playing their first game and they'll be
Mm.
coming up against this brutal force of Pakistan. Now, how do you
Yes.
have this matchup in your mind, Nikhil?
Again, there is a lot of context as well into this game because of the pullout that New Zealand had. So I am 100% sure
Exactly, exactly.
Pakistan players did not need any more motivation. They're coming in on the back of a very historic and a hammering win over India. So I have no doubts that Pakistan will be pumped up. But
Yeah.
again, Pakistan are Pakistan. You don't know which Pakistan will not allow the other Pakistan to be a Pakistan. So so Pakistan
Oh
will hope the
God.
real Pakistan stands up. And the thing with New Zealand is, see, they're a very good team in terms of planning and strategies and tactics. So I'm not saying that New Zealand will not have it. That New Zealand will have it very hard. They will
Yeah,
fight, but what I feel is momentum is a very sometimes underrated or overrated phenomenon. But I think Pakistan have the momentum with them, and if they continue to execute the skills how they did in the game against India, I
India.
think
Yeah.
New Zealand are going to have a very rough time.
Absolutely, a lot to look
Yeah.
forward to in this game.
Yes.
It's like the battle of the ages because of the
Yeah.
build up that's been just happening with this
Yes.
whole New Zealand backing out. So now,
Yeah.
wasting no further time, please pick your 11 for the first segment. Best fantasy 11 that you can pick, and who would these players be?
So yes, the big clash in the wicket keeping section. I have two guys who've been in good form this year. One is Devon Convoy. He's averaging around 50. He's scored over 1,000 runs in this year, so it's a no-brainer that I'm going to pick him. And I feel against Pakistan, you want a
Nice.
left-handed opener. I think India missed that option. Maybe Dhawan. We've seen Dhawan do well in ODIs against Pakistan. So it just
Yeah,
put the angle for the angle bet, and just puts the bowlers off to adjust to the line and length. So uh,
possibly. Yeah.
Convoy informed guy, so he makes it to my team. Mohammad Rizwan. There is no need to explain why I'm taking Mohammad Rizwan here. Ever
When
since
you
he's
talk about
made that,
Mohammad Rizwan, yeah, I only see leg side. When you talk about Mohammad Rizwan,
yeah,
I can see leg side. I cannot see offside.
exactly. And again, it just shows the testament to his character that ever since he hit that 89 against New Zealand, opening the batting,
Yeah,
his career has just changed. In
change.
like
Yeah,
his yeah, he may not have the best of head-to-head records, but again, the kind of form that he is in, it is just like very obvious to not take him. So yes, I'm taking Mohammad Rizwan as well
fantastic.
in the batting section. Again, like the previous game, I have four guys. There are two risky picks here, but let's go one by one. One is Kane Williamson. He's not a risky pick. He's an everybody's good. Averages 47 against New Zealand in 6 matches. Informed guy. He showed what he can do. He's the anchor. He doesn't take too many risks. The ideal
Right.
captain for your side. So that's Babar Azam. Glenn Phillips is my risk pick for this game. Again, purely because of the form that he showed in the CPL, and he was coming. He didn't have a great time in the IPL. Even at the venue, he had single-digit scores. But I think he's a very good potential for New Zealand because he can also roll his arm
Maybe.
over, and
Yeah, he can.
they're
He
playing
can.
it.
Yeah.
And so again, it's a surprise factor. I don't see. Yes, one thing is he's not scored a run against Shine Afridi. He's got out to him thrice, two times in 3 balls. That
Oh,
is that is
what a
faced. So
stat.
yes, so he will be trouble. But again, I feel for New Zealand to come good, they will need the top order to come good. Again, we saw that in the previous game. Pakistan are a side that they go very hard in the power play with the bowling. So
Yeah,
I feel the top order has to come good for New Zealand, and it's the only reason why I did not take Martin Guptill. He's struggled. He's had his struggles in UAE, so which is why I've left him out. And I've taken Fakar Zaman, who's been in very good form in the warm-up games. And see, every day you will not win by 10 wickets. You will need other guys to come in and chip in and have a
right,
good show with the bat. So I think Fakar Zaman will be key for Pakistan. So that's my batting section. Now coming to
right.
the all-rounder section, I'm taking just one guy in all-rounders, that is Shadab Khan. And again, as I said, I'm someone who backs a lot of data. Shadab Khan has taken 9 wickets in 7 games against New Zealand, especially while bowling second. So
Yes.
If they bowl second, I expect Shadab to do a good job. He did. He was very economical in the first game against India.
Yes, yes.
So if Pakistan bat first, I think Shadab could come into the game. The one guy that I feel can also be part of your side is Mohammad Hafiz. He loves to play against New Zealand, especially if Pakistan bat first. He averages 40, 54 in 9 matches.
Oh, that's
So
nice. That's very
and
good.
the same average in second innings goes down to 25. So
Oh,
it's a massive gap.
interesting. It's like half of it.
So exactly, it's less than half if you
Less
go
than half of it. Yeah.
precisely. So again, because he's been troubled by Bolt, Santner in the second innings, who've got him out 4 times and 3 times respectively. So uh, again, it's a call that you have to take. Maybe you can drop Glenn Phillips for Mohammad Hafiz if you feel that Pakistan are batting first and he'll come good. So that is the all-rounder section. Coming to the bowling section. From the New Zealand side, I have taken Ish Sodhi. He's the highest wicket taker for
Okay.
them in T20s this year, and of course, class guy. We know how good he's been for New Zealand in that regard, and Lockie Ferguson. Lockie Ferguson has very good numbers at this venue. I think he's taken 9 wickets in 5 matches. He's never been wicketless. So, from a fantasy angle, he's giving you returns, and that is
Yes, he
all
is.
we care about. Even if he takes 1 wicket, it's enough for us as compared to a batsman who has to do that much more. So
Right.
that is why I've taken Lockie Ferguson, and of course, the two guys who were instrumental in keeping India quiet, despite Hassan Ali going for runs. I've still picked him because Hassan Ali at Sharjah, he's taken 18 wickets in 9 matches. 12
Oh
wickets,
my God.
12 wickets while bowling first, and 6 wickets while bowling second. So form data, as I said, data backs Hassan Ali to come good, and Shaheen Shah Afridi. I mean, the less said now, the
Hmm.
better about him, what he can do, and yes, the Afridi
Yes,
style
definitely.
celebration. Yes, so that's why, as I said, I someone who's back data. The only risky guy, as I said, in this team is probably Glenn Phillips. So again,
Yes,
please feel free to take a risk in terms of the toss and the pitch report, whatever we see at that point of time. But the rest, I feel, are some of the obvious picks. Yes, you can try Mohammad Hafiz. There is the Jamai Raja, who's not Jamai for New Zealand, but
yeah,
for India,
for India,
Shoaib
yeah.
Malik, because now they're playing at Sharjah, and if you see the pitch is changing now. We saw in the
Yes,
two
it is.
games that have happened recently, the batting is becoming easier. So I would say you should definitely pack your side with top order batsmen because you don't know who will come good. Yesterday,
Right,
Afghanistan's got a top order batsman came good for them, and you would want to take death overs bowlers because you
correct.
don't know who will come in and take 3 wickets in 1 over. So that
Absolutely.
angle, that aspect has to be there while you make your fantasy side. So yes, this is the team for me. Obvious captain choice in Babar Azam and Rizwan. You have Kane Williamson. You have Shadab Khan if you think he's going to bowl second and do well. Mohammad Hafiz could make a very differential pick while batting first. And yes, of course, if you want to go the bowling angle, Hassan Ali, Shaheen Shah
My
Afridi,
God.
there are a lot of options. It's going to be a good game, as I said, a cracker of a contest.
Absolutely, there are a lot of captain picks that you can choose. You
Yeah,
have gone particularly for the two Pakistani openers. Now,
yeah,
how important it is now that we are going to be choosing a fireside team. Now, how
yes,
difficult is it going to be? Because you've got a Kane Williamson, you've got Rizwan, you've got Convoy, as you said, he's in good form.
uh,
Babar Azam,
yeah,
you've got four
uh,
supremely talented batsmen,
yeah,
and you have to pick two. All rounder is
yes,
fine, and the bowlers as well goes the same. You've got a
uh,
Ferguson, Sodi
uh,
has picked up so many. Hassan Ali, 18
yeah,
wickets in 9 matches. I'm just, my
yeah.
brain is blowing up right now. So please tell me who will be your top five pick for the Sports Adda Fantasy.
Yes, I'll again say apologies to the guys who are going out. It's a harsh game, but yes, as you can see, my 5 picks for the game, the two the there is one. I just feel they are lesser risk players. Kane Williamson is also
Yes,
a good choice, but again, the kind of form you saw Azam Rizwan play that game, they were flawless. They didn't give India any chance. So it just feels that maybe coming into the first game, New Zealand might be that much bit rusty. They lost the two warm-up games, so I feel it's better to go with Pakistan again. Today I'm back in the men in green in both the games, so hopefully I'm not jinxing them around. But yes, so those are my two batsmen. The two bowlers are I've taken one from Pakistan and one from New Zealand. Lockie
New Zealand.
Ferguson, express pace, very good record at Sharjah, and Shaheen Shah Afridi, new ball value, and again he can hit a few if needed. Hopefully not. And of course, the all-rounder is Hassan Ali, because why not? Why would you not take Hassan
Yes,
Ali with those numbers at the venue?
yes,
So
yes, yes,
yes,
yes.
these are my options for the five-a-side team. And as I said, captain, right? Captain choice, completely your call. I'm just going with the safest option in Babar Azam.
It's
Please
a good
feel free
choice.
to make any change, and yes, obviously you can make the captaincy change as well if you change the player. Yeah.
So to all our viewers, Hassan Ali in the Sports Adda Fantasy is an all-rounder. If you go, you will
Yes.
find out, much better.
Yeah.
So that's why he's taken Hassan Ali, haven't you, Nikhil?
Yes, yes, completely agree. And again, he's an all-rounder. We've seen him hit a few big shots for Pakistan whenever they need it. So imagine if you feel he's going to bowl first, you can even make him your captain, because
My
that
God,
good a
yeah.
record while bowling first.
Why not?
You just know it is worth a risk. Maybe not in your small league team, but if you're playing grand leagues, you can make multiple combinations. Please do try it out.
Absolutely. Now moving on to the final segment, that is picking the player
Mm.
of the match. Now with these
Yes,
five players, I have someone in mind that he's going to be the player of the
yes,
match. But please tell me
yes.
who is for you.
So for me, again, I've gone with form in terms of the first pick, and that is Mohammad Rizwan.
Mohammad
Uh,
Rizwan.
so
Lovely.
30 coins for him to continue his good form this year. Uh, Again, I could not keep Hassan Ali out of this man of the match Predator game. So yeah, Hassan Ali is in next with 30 coins. Uh, Corresponding guy for me in terms of the batting department who can come good today is Fakar Zaman. So it is a bit of a risk, but I think risk hai, as you
He's
rightly just coined, coined a bit earlier. So yes, Fakar Zaman with 20 coins. And again, if New Zealand are to win, one of their bowlers has to crack big, and I feel Lockie Ferguson will be that bowler with his pace and experience for his side in Kolkata. So I've got 20 coins for Lockie Ferguson. But I'm also interested to know, who are you thinking as the man of the match?
If you had to put me on the spot, I would go for
Yeah.
Mohammad Rizwan. He was my first
Oh,
pick, to be very
nice,
honest,
nice,
because the
nice.
way he has batted against India, I
Yeah.
have this deep respect for him now. Batting for the
Yes.
first
Yeah.
time he played against India for the first time in such a major tournament. So there was a lot of
Yeah.
pressure,
Yeah.
expectations, and just that a lot of mocha ringing in their ears. But he
Ah.
definitely has proved it wrong, and fantastic player he
Yeah.
is. And also Lockie
Yeah.
Ferguson would have been one of my
Yeah.
picks because, rightly pointed out, he's the detrimental part, the more
Mm.
mainstay of New Zealand
Impact
bowling,
player. Yeah.
impact player, right? So
Yeah.
fantastic. We have our man of the match. All our viewers, you all can challenge our expert. I
Mm.
have challenged my expert, and I expect you to do the same and get your answers as
Yes.
well. Now, to
Yeah.
all of them who are joining just now, you all can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And here is our social media handle to get more
Yep.
updates from Sports Adda and hopefully win a lot of prizes if you all do well in the
Yep.
Fantasy Adda as well. So now,
Yes.
Nikhil, finally, okay, you've picked up both men in green. The second
Yeah.
game, talking about Pakistan and New Zealand, do you really feel that the toss would play a major role? Because Sharjah has been all about toss since the IPL we've seen.
Yes.
Before that, even in the T10 Abu Dhabi League, we've seen. In all the
Yes.
leagues or
Yes.
all the matches played on this particular ground, toss has been very crucial. So, do you think today as
Yeah.
well, toss could play a major role when it comes to the game?
Yeah, I think it will play a major role throughout the tournament because of, as you said, the time of the year that this tournament has been, scheduled. There will be a lot of dew during the night. So, the one thing that goes against that logic, as we saw in the game yesterday, that if you have quality guys, they
Yeah,
will find a way to come good because toss is not in your control. The team who's
absolutely.
losing the toss cannot make an excuse that okay, we lost the toss, because you have to be ready for it. You know this
Right,
is what is going to happen. So I'm hoping both the teams would have prepared well. And again, because Pakistan have played a lot of cricket in this particular arena, so they would know what is needed. And again, it is somewhere where I feel the more paces you have at times, it probably helps you because, as you said yesterday, the spinners find it harder to control the wet ball.
right,
So the
right.
pacers, if the deck is somewhat supportive of the bowlers, then they can have a good game. But yesterday we did not see any dew. I think in the Afghanistan game. So at least for the
Yeah,
first 10 overs, the game did not even go much beyond that. So both teams of batting first will hope that the dew stays away for as long as they can, because it will shape the plans. Somebody, as we saw with India, they had to bowl out Varun and Jadeja early because
right.
they knew the dew was getting very heavy. So again, as you said, yes, toss will be very critical, but I hope teams are ready for it because it's a World Cup. Excuses are not allowed.
Absolutely no excuses in cricket, no
Yeah.
room for excuses. Now,
Yeah.
thank you, Nikhil, for joining with me.
Yes.
Thank you to all our viewers who
Thank you.
tuned in with us for the Fantasy Adda. It was a great show. This is the best show for tips, tricks, and predictions to make your best fantasy 11. And none other than Nikhil to guide us through and help us win more and more and more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. See you soon on the Fantasy Adda and see you soon on Cricket Adda as well. So stay tuned for today's game. Thank you, Nikhil.
Yes. Thank you, guys. See you guys soon. Tata.